Well, here we are. We're back in Virtual Pool 4, and we are here for another match on the one-loss side of the Cowboy World Championships. It's going to be between Romario and Larry. One bit of bad news is that Vinces hasn't turned up for either of his matches, so he's now out of the tournament. So here's hoping he's okay. Because he's forfeited his second match against Acero, and the winner of this match tonight between Larry and Romario is going to be playing Acero. It's a race to two. They're going to lag for the break. Good evening and welcome. The match, or the room, sorry, should be up in a couple of minutes' time, and well, it could go either way. This match, you couldn't call it. Just don't know how it's going to go. Well, I wonder if he's a bit like me, where he didn't have everything all checked. I thought I had everything all checked. And he's probably not getting notifications through that his opponent accepted the time, or the other way around, one of the two. So both players are here, or certainly Romario was earlier. I'm looking to see Larry's just arrived. There's Romario as well in the chat, and hopefully we can get going ASAP. If we look at the winner's side of the bracket and see where it's got to, we've got Interchange X through, and we've got Baker Maker, and both of them are in the hot seat match. They have until the 15th of January, so they've got about another 6 days or something to go before they have to get that match completed. The room is now up between Larry and Romario. I'm going to get in, get the cloth colour changed. Miscellaneous. We'll set that to blue. And we're good to go when either of them get in. Larry has arrived. We should be up and running on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Mixer and Smashcast. When we've yet to have anybody come in to the chat from Smashcast or Mixer. I don't think very many people use those platforms, but there's always a chance. I'll have a quick drink. Romario playing the waiting game here, letting Larry sit there. Well, as we get deeper into the tournament, it's all about consistency and scoring when you get in and not losing your points. So we've got Larry nearest us, Romario on the far side. And it looks like Romario... Oh no, Larry's got it. Just got it. Larry wins the lag, and he will break off. Everything's working okay. And immediately that one ball's now dead on the rail. So the best thing whenever Larry can, is to try and get that one ball potted, or at least play a carom onto it and get it into play. It doesn't really help where it's sitting. And remember, these pockets are on tight settings, and it's a bar table I'm hearing. It's not the proper 8 ball. It's bar table again. That's what. And straight away Romario scratched. That's what Semi-Pro was telling me. I hope it's the same settings as it was previously. The same match goal, etc., etc. So Romario, a quick 3 points and then a quick scratch, has given Larry a free go. Well, the easiest way to do it is just to bring up, find the tournament on the calendar, and then just copy it. Couldn't be simpler. Unless, I don't know whether jump cues were on the last time, but according to Semi-Pro, jump cues are on this time. Open table for Larry. He can play a pot or he can play a carom. Looks as if he's got a dead straight pot and a 3 into this bottom left. He could use, well, he's gone for the 5, but once again Larry's just struggling to find his line with these tight pockets. And Romario gets the carom. One will go on its spot. In fact, well, the problem is you're going to have to stun that because he's nailed to the rail with the cue ball, but the one's now in play. So a shaky start from both players. Well, 5 going back onto its spot leaves the easy carom to follow. Well, this is a bit more of a loose angle here. He's going to have to stun into the 3. He could go off the end rail, but much easier to stun direct. Now he's looking for the pot and the 1. And really, he wants to stay up that top end of the table there if he can. Well, he's gone for the 3, in off the 1. Now he's going to go top rail off that 3 ball and behind the 5, I would think. All the balls are in play at the moment. Now he's on a pot, he's got to think about where that next carom is going to come from. And ideally he wants to get the cue ball out into the table, which he has done. And now he's got a choice. He can go 3 to the 1, or same again with the 3, but off the top rail and in behind the 5. Well, he's going to the 1. The run goes to 30. And this is, well, apart from the fact that he got 3 points then scratched, this is his first scoring visit really. And the more he can add to it And if he eventually keeps it, it'll be a good start, a good contribution. And I think Romario has gone out of sequence here. I think he has done. And the run ends in 34, and that's what happens when the concentration goes. If you forget to keep an eye on that top left-hand corner of the HUD, because that there is what you need to be looking at. That is a carom. And then the duller shade of balls is the pot. And if you take your eye off them, it's so easy just to forget what sequence that you're actually on. And that's given Larry a good opportunity to build up a lead now. He's still 2 points behind, but he's looking to make a bit more than that from this visit. Well, that's gone too far unless it slows up. Well, he's got the force follow. Could also play the draw as well, I think, onto the one, but easier doing the force follow. I think he's dead straight on this 5. He's going to have to get that cue ball into the table slightly if he's going to leave the 5-3 carom. He's maybe drawing up the table. Well, that again is not ideal. It's a long distance force follow onto the 1, and these are not easy to pick the line. That 5 ball could actually get in the way here and run back up into these balls when he plays this shot, and I think that's what he's thinking. He doesn't really like it. Well, he looks as if he's going... I thought he was going to go half ball there and try and carom onto the 3 at the top end. Yeah, he's gone around the angles, but he's went a different side from the way I saw the shot. So Larry's visit ends in 26. He has a 10-point lead. Well, if Romario pots the 5 and keeps the cue ball down this bottom end of the table as we look, he should have a carom either from the 1 to the 5 or from the 5 to the 3. And now this needs a good straight pot or a cut into the left middle as we look, or the right middle, whichever he goes for, but he's got to think about what is spotting here. The 5's going to spot in the middle. If he gets down the bottom end of the table and doesn't hit this too hard, well, he's brushed into the 1. He's now out of line. He's going to have to be careful with this. Didn't quite hit that 3 ball half ball, so kept him well out of the danger of the scratch. Well, this time he puts the 1 on the spot, and he's going to have to pull off a shot here. There's nothing set. And where's the cue ball going? Well, that's lucky. It's a lucky break. And this is into a blind pocket, and these pockets are tight. So Romario is building up a lead. That takes him to 58. The run is 24. And I don't think he can play the force follow yet. Well, mind you, he's on a pot anyway. What am I talking about? This has got to be gentle. I think he's okay this time. Bit more angle than ideal when you're playing the forced volley. You don't want too much angle because it makes it more difficult to read the shot. But he's now got a simple pot and a 3 and a carom and a 5 and a 1 to follow. The run goes to 35. Well, he should be potting at 5 with a 1 ball. And if the 1 ball goes in with it, that's a bonus. But that gets the 1 back into play again. And this is building up to a good contribution this time from Romario. And it's down to 2 decent scoring visits from Romario that's gave him this lead. The run goes to 47. And playing this force follow at distance, again the danger is a 5 ball getting back in the way, and it's just brushed the 1 out the way. That was always the problem. So Romario's run ends on 47. He's finished on 81, and Larry has it all to do to get back into this first rack. Has to score. And he's, again, Larry's coming in stone cold, I think. I don't think he's probably put much practice in. And it's showing. Struggled in a couple of pots early on and struggling to find his line there. And I don't know what Romario did there, but he certainly was nowhere near the pot. But he's left nothing simple for Larry. Well, that's another little bonus. Gets the pot and the carom. Gives him the open table. Has to get that 5 ball in play. Now, if he pots the 3 ball and comes back down the bottom of the table, he could give himself a chance. If he stops up the top end of the table, he could give a chance as well to go from the 3 to the 5. So he has the open table. It's either a pot or a carom. If he can get one or the other, it won't matter. Now this is tricky. He can stun right into that 5 and get it into play. And now again, he needs a good pot. It's off straight, this 1 ball. But he wants to pot this and draw back if he can, because that will leave him a 1-5 carom. If he goes right through onto the rail on the right hand side, he could have the 5-1 carom, but he's got the easy opportunity to kill the cue ball at this end. And that will do. He wants to hit this half ball or full in the face. Either or will get it into play, and he sent it into the gap. And that was a big target, that 5 ball. And that's a bad miss by Larry at this stage already in the rack. And Romario comes to the table with a healthy lead and should be on the caroms after this visit. Oh dear. Commentator's curse again. Romario's found a way to scratch, and Larry's been given a reprieve. Still back on 54, but he could knock a chunk out of that if he can get something together here. This is again a dangerous shot. He's got to stun this firm if he's going to run into the 5. It's always dangerous having to play shots with power when you're playing a carom and the balls are more or less spotted, because you're always risking a scratch. You've just got to take risks sometimes, and Larry definitely needs to take the odd risk or two to get back into this rack. The little nudge onto the 1, just pushing it into a potable position. Again, a little stun it has to be from the 5 to the 3. If he hits this half ball, he's got a danger of scratching. He's hit it okay. And now he's got the 3 ball, and if he just leaves the cue ball over on the left hand side, he's got an easy 5-1 carom, but he doesn't see it that way. He's looking at the 5. Now, the simple one's to pot the 3 and leave the 5-1, and that's what he's now doing. Now again, with this shot, if he can get to the bottom rail first and then just kick into the 1, that would be ideal. It just puts it into play again. Well, he's hit it full in the face, brought it up the table. And now it's going to be the carom from the 1 to either the 5 or the 3. If he misses the 5, he's bound to hit the 3. He's now on 82. The run is 29. And Larry's into the lead. Now, can Larry keep this run going, and can he keep his points? Needs a good pot. And once again, he's struggling to find that line, and the run ends on 30, just when Larry was looking at getting to 90. Left himself a tough pot in the 5, and it's given Romario the chance to get there first. And you also little clip onto that 1 ball's a bonus. But Romario now has an open table. He needs 3 points. It's going to be a tough cut in the 3, and he needs to watch that cue ball doesn't travel too far and run into another ball. And that's him now on 90, and it's caroms between 90 and 100. And where's the cue ball going? Well, there we go, the old half ball. There had to be 1, and Romario straight away is the first casualty. Probably the most common scratch that you'll get during the game in Cowboy is that one there that you've just seen. And lo and behold, with Romario getting to 90, it's all been frittered away, and Larry just needs this carom to get him to 90. Well, I certainly can't play much of a carom from the 5 to the 3 because he's in danger of potting a 5. he could go 3 rails from the 3 to the 1. He's trying to go off the side rail, too gentle. But Larry's on the 90. But he hasn't got into the 90s. You want to get that wee lead going. Get 3 or 4 caroms. Give you that little sort of safety net. Romario now 8 points short of the 90. And now he's going to have to again pull off a carom here. There's nothing dead set. Could go from the 3 to the 1. Well, this is awkward because the cue ball, well, he's trying to bank it rather than risking the cue ball running around and caroming another ball. But he's kept his points. It's only 8 points and he's still 1 short of the 90. Well, right side of that 3 ball onto the left side rail and then the top rail and then onto the 1. Well, now he can play the 3 railer from the 5 to the 1, but he's looking to, I think, go from the 1 to the 3. No, he's trying to spin down the rail. There's definitely nothing easy now, but he can go from the 5 to the 1. He's going to have to push that 3 into the jaw if he's going to try and play the carom that way. But there's a risk of him potting the 1 ball doing this. And he's tried to go rail first. And so Larry's visit has ended on 3. Romario again having to try and play the carom to get that point. Well, that's twice the 1 ball hasn't been sitting in a potable position for Romario, or it would have been an easy 1 point, but he's still needing that 1 point. And the longer it takes him to get there, the bigger the lead in the caroms that Larry has the opportunity to build up. Well, once again, the 5 ball is the one that you can use for the 3 railer. With a bit of help in English, run around the corner. Didn't quite get the line, but that's the general idea there. Once again, Romario, I don't think, has a pot in the 1. Let's have a look. Oh, he's going to have to try and brush through onto the 5. And the 1 ball again has undone him. Came back off the rail, pushed the cue ball away from the 5. It was a dead set carom. And he's still short. 1 point short of 90. And Larry's got a good chance of getting another start here if he can get to that 1 ball. And the spin has worked this time. And Romario is stalled back there in 89. Well, that was never going to have the pace in it. It was a good line, but just didn't get the pace into the cue ball. And this time Romario gladly accepts the opportunity to pot the one, and finally he's on 90 and just brushes the 3 and no more. And this time he can go off the one ball to the top rail and then the side rail onto that 5. Needs to get the spin working though. And didn't get there. So Romario is 5 points behind. Larry's got an easy starter here. Oh dear. Oh, he's misread that. I think he put a bit of he might have put a bit of right English on there to try and straighten the shot, but he got far too much. Straighten the cue ball right up. But nothing easy for Romario, but he's picked a good line there. And another one that is tough. He's got a thin edge off this 3 ball. Well, he's not looking at it, but that's the shot that way. He's trying to go across. That'll be good if he gets it. That's a good shot, but he could have gone that way. It was a tight margin to get that line at that top end of the table, so it ended up with a good shot. And this is dangerous if he's going to go directly to the 1. Well, he would have taken the 3 ball if he could have got it, but it's a run of 2 and he's still 3 points behind Larry with absolutely nothing easy here. Now is he trying to... Well, that's a good one. I think he could get that without potting the 1 ball. He actually played it well. And he's just struggling to get some of these lines. Got that one too thick. And he's given Romario all the opportunities he needs to actually score here. Where's the 3 ball going? And the answer to that is in the hole, and that's now makes Larry the favourite. He's got an easy starter here, and if he doesn't hit this too hard, he can keep these balls at the top end of the table, and he could be out in this first rack. Well, the double kiss keeps the 1 ball more or less in the top rail, but he's got another easy carom to follow, and he wants to get this 3 ball back up the table if he can, because now he's left himself with a big gap between all the balls. I don't like that angle so much either on the 5, although he can try and skim. Well, he's looking, but if he thins this enough with inside left English, he can make the angle to get to that 1, but just not enough. So Larry just needs 1 more carom before he has to scratch off that 1 ball, and Romario's still in it. Well, this will have to be very thin if he's going to try and skim off the far side of the 3 ball, run around the angles to get to the 5. Well, he's tried to get to the 3 instead. And that 5 ball, of course, can be used as Romario's safety net, because if Larry does get the carom but doesn't get the scratch to follow. Romario can play safeties and keep the one ball over in that top left-hand corner. Oh, one ball's going in the hole again. Well, this is not a pretty layout here for Romario. Trailing by 6 points. He's going to have to manufacture something. He's got the draw. That one ball is just squirting away back down the table. And he's going to have to dig out another good one. It's going to be 3 rails this time. Maybe even 4. Not quite. Good effort though. Now I wonder how Romario's thinking about keeping this one ball safe, because Larry's still that 1 point away from the scratch, and as long as it stays like that, Romario's got the opportunity to just get himself back in it. But well, he's missed not a difficult one there, didn't quite read the line, and Larry has been given an easy one. Now he needs to try and keep that one ball in the table. And now he can scratch into the bottom right hand corner as we look. Just a straightforward stun. And Larry wins the first rack. And Romario scored okay in that rack. He just got stalled in 89, and that's what done him. He was stalled there for a good few minutes, and Larry just managed to squirt away on those caroms late on. Well, this time Romario knows he has to get to 90 first, and that's going to hang up. These tight pockets don't give you anything. Oh dear. Well, Larry's trying to nudge that one onto the 5 to get the 5 potted, and he hasn't picked out the angle at all. And Romario, things are going from bad to worse for Romario. And it's another shaky start in this second rack from both players. 2 balls in the kitchen, so Larry can only go for the 3 ball. But not able to pick the potting angle in that 3. Once again, it's a big carom at distance, and he's just clipped a 3 and clipped it on the wrong side and scratched again. So Romario is going to have to tighten up a bit here. I suppose it's okay that it's happening early in the rack, but at some point or other he's going to have to put a score together and try and build up a lead. Now, can he get this 5 ball thin enough with a bit of inside right English and punch off the end rail into the 1 as well? If he has got the angle, it'd be well worth playing it. No. Well, this is dangerous. If he goes to the side rail and hits the 1, if he clips it, he'll scratch. And he's hit it half ball, and that's okay. And now a stun down onto the rail and onto the 1. And now he can get the 1 on its spot, but has to get over. Well, he's got a choice. The way it's sitting at the moment, if he goes over to the left hand side of the table with the cue ball, like here, he's got a 5-3 carom. If he finishes this side, well, he's taking the 1 instead, but you see the danger with the 5, but the danger with that is he's left a 1 over the pocket, which is 1 ball really less to actually make a carom. But he's actually okay. Again, cannot hit this half ball on the wrong side, and he threatened to scratch, managed to avoid it, and now he should be getting that 1 ball on its spot and staying at the bottom end of the table. To me, it's a lot easier to pot the 1 and run along the rail to the left hand side and leave a 5-3 carom. He's quite happy to work with these two as long as he can keep in shape and keep a line and leave a ball on for the pot. The 1 ball acts as an emergency backup if he's in need of a pot. And now he's going to have an easy carom to follow this. The 3 is going to be spotting very adjacent to the 5 ball. And he can play the force follow, nice and simple. And Larry's visit now goes to 43, his first scoring visit in this rack. Oh, I think that's gone too straight, has it? Yeah. And now, well, he's going to have to go 3 rails to try and get to the 1. The shot that I like to play is off the 5 with inside left English to punch that cue ball down. He's trying to get to the target area there, and that'll do. But where's his next pot coming from? That's the problem. We're locking up against the 3. And he's going to have to try the cut or the bank, but doesn't want to lose these points. The run is on 51. And everything is safe, and that's a healthy lead for Larry. Now, Larry winning the first rack, the pressure's really on Romario now to get his act together and score something here. He cannot afford just like getting into double figures. He has to get a substantial run here to give himself a chance. But already Larry's looking at like the favourite to get to 90, and that'll make it difficult for Romario. Well, he's dead straight in the 3. So we played the little brush carom from the 1 to the 3. He's got the 5-1, but he hasn't got there, and that is not going to be good enough, I'm afraid. It's only a run of 18, and he's still 29 points behind Larry, and Larry's got another chance to get to 90 in this visit. So this match has been going for 45 minutes or so, and well, it could all be over in just over the hour. He'll be pushing that 5 ball towards the top left hand corner pocket. Just a gentle carom. And he's always got that 1 ball as a backup. And he's actually potted the 1 as the 5 as well. So now he can go get that 1 ball on its spot. And another tough one to judge. It's actually a pretty good line that he's got here for the force follow. Well, again, just hitting that half ball. Where's the cue ball? And that's a mistake. It's always the danger. Every time you play that shot, if you get a half ball with a bit more pace than you really want, you're going to scratch. And oh dear, well, Romario just cannot string something together here. And he could have avoided that. He could have had spin on the cue ball to avoid that cue ball scratch, and he could have spun it into the top rail, and it would have taken that all out of the equation. And that's a bad mistake by Romario. And he's just not giving himself table time here. Well, with this shot here, he can stun the 3 in and stun over to the left-hand side if he digs down. He's looking to take the 5 ball, but see where he is there, he's leaving himself slightly more difficult caroms at distance. And once again, if he pots the 3 and stays in the top side, he's going to give himself a chance from the 3 to the 5. If he can't get that, he should have the 3 to the 1. I think he's gone too straight. Can he pot that 3? Yeah, I think he can do it. I think he can pot the 3 and run onto the rail in the 5 ball. Just chipped it and no more, but that's all you need to do. But now the 5 ball is dead, and he's looking for a pot. And again, well, he might try and come down the bottom end this time. If he gets over to the right hand side of the table, at the bottom end of the table, he could give himself the 1 to the 5. That would be the shot, to try and get off there, round there and down to about here, and then he can play the 1 to the 5. But he's not hit that, but he's going to probably go the other way, from there to that. Each player sees the shots differently, and I think he just misjudged that one. But Romario now comes to the table. Larry's visit ends in 28, Larry in 79, and a 57-point lead that Romario simply has to... Well, I think Romario's lost the plot now. It's all come off the rails. He's missed the 3 ball. Now, whether he was playing to pot that 3 ball or play the carom from the 3, nobody will know. But either way, none of them worked, and it's another no-scoring visit from Romario. And he's had 2 good opportunities to put something together, and he's failed, and it's happening at the wrong time for him. And Larry just chipping that 5, hardly moved at all. And he's got to find a way to get that ball in play. Now, if he plays this pot in the 1, with inside English, he can go up and brush the 3 ball as well, but he's looking at the 3. But if he pots that 1 and you get the right amount of spin on it, you can go that way with the cue ball and chip the 3 as well. Just overjudged it there. That might have been what he played there. And now a chance off the 1 onto the 5. Just getting it too thick. So Larry has given another reprieve for Romario, but Romario is at the point of no return at the moment unless he puts a score on. Is that going to get to the hole? Yes, it is. And it needs a big innings here from Romario. An error-free one. He has to keep his points. And he has to chase down Larry if he's going to stay in this tournament. Well, he should pot the 5, get over, if he can draw off that and get over to the right hand side, that'll leave him the easy 3-1. Oh dear, what's he got? He has got nothing easy at all here. He's going to have to pick out a pot on this 5. And again, didn't get the line, so it is only 16, and that isn't enough. And Larry just 5 short of the 90. and 5 short of getting into the caroms long before Romario is. So Larry now, the carom from the 5 to the 1 will take him there. Oh, he's well. I'm sure he played to the 1. He actually would have spun into the 3 if the 5 hadn't knocked the 3 away. So it's still another lifeline for Romario. And in these last 2 visits, he's done nothing. If ever you're going to put a decent run together, it's right now. Larry's still 1 short of the caroms, and Romario has his chance to get there before Larry, but he's going to have to score. Oh dear, that is bad. Again, Romario's old trouble comes back to haunt him, just taking things too quickly. Steady the ship, give yourself a chance. Well, that's the 3 ball dead for Larry, but Larry's on 90. So he can't use the 3 ball. And a double kiss has ruined that, and I think Romario is in dire trouble here, because he's going to have to bank the 3 in, up and down, I think, because all the balls are in the kitchen. He's going to have to play the cue ball out of the kitchen. That 5 ball is in the kitchen. Well, that's not what I would have played. He had ball in hand and an easy up and down pot in the 3. Surely that was a shot to play. Just up there and back down and pot the 3. You're playing the cue ball out the kitchen, and he went for the tougher shot. And it's another no scoring visit by Romario. Now Romario could be playing on the fact that the 3 is over the pocket and he didn't want to actually bring it into play to try and stop Larry from scoring, but at the same time, for Romario to get any score together, he really has to get all of these balls in play. Force follow to the 5. If he double kisses it, it's going to stay there. Now, what's he got? Well, he can pot the 1 and he can pot the 3. And if he stays over that side, he can spin off the... Well, what's he doing here? I can spin off the 5 onto the 1, or better still off the 3 onto the 1. Oh, managed to force follow. Where's that cue ball going? Oh dear, again he's doing his best to try and put himself right out the game here. And now he's had a blast at the 1 to try and make the carom to the 3, and the visit is only 9. And Larry, well, I don't know whether he wants to play a straight stun across the table onto the 3 off this 1. But he's played the pot and he's dug out a good pot, and that gets him to the 90. And he's got an easy carom to follow. Probably better if he goes to the side rail first here and kicks into the back of the 3, because it brings it into play, and that's a good shot. And now he's guaranteed another carom here. Now, thin off that left hand edge of the 1, side rail and into the 5, and And this is where he's now going to have to pick one out, because they're now well spaced from one another. But you can go a two or three railer here off that right hand side of the three as we look. He looks as if he's going off the inside, is he? Yeah, difficult shot to pick the line in that one. But Larry has a visit of 4, and that takes him to 93. And Romario away in the distance. But Larry's only on 93. But once again, Romario's locked to 3 in the 1-up. And he's going to have to just hit and hope here that he gets a fluke. Oh, he's cut the 5. What a shot that was. That was a cracking pot to dig himself out of trouble there. And now he can get those 2 balls into play. Well, it's going to have to be a firm stun if he's going for 5 to 3 and the cue ball's running. Needs a bit of luck to leave a pot. And he's got nothing easy here. It's another tough pot he's left himself. Cut that 1 down the rail. Or cut the 5 down the right hand side. But none of them are easy shots. But again, he's pulled one out of the bag to keep this run going. It's only 22 at the moment, but it takes him into the 80s. Might try and stun the 5 here as well if he can. That needs to keep going though. I think he's held the spot. He can stun from the 5 onto the 1. Oh dear, well that's gone completely out the window. He got that all wrong. And it's another careless one. He really should have just slowed himself down a bit there. Get that shot lined up. And he's still back on 84. And he's given Larry an easy starter again. And Romario should have got to 90 there. He knows that. Is that going to be his final chance? That's finished too close, I think. Yeah. Larry can't even see the 3 ball, so he's going to have to go multiple rails here to try and get down to that top end of the table. And Romario now has to roll the 5 in, unless that 3's sitting straight. Let's have a look. Yeah, got to roll the 5 in. And he's given himself a choice and has to be careful with both of these. If he's going to go, the safest route would be to try and hit this side rail first and then the 1. But he's potted the 1 and he's gone over the 90 and he's now stuck back at 84. And again, Larry's got an easy starter. Well, maybe he's worried about the pot on that 5, the 3 ball. Yeah, just a wee bit dangerous. That looks good. Oh, that would be very nice if he can avoid a double kiss off this 5 and just spin into the rail. And likewise again off this 3-ball, just bank the 3-ball and just spin down the rail. Oh, he's not stunned it enough. A little bit of stun and spin. Well, this is Romario's final lifeline, surely, to get to 90 and get into the caroms. He's on 84. If he pots the 5, takes him to 89. And he's going to have the easy carom, the 5-1. But really needs to get these balls gathered in such a way that he can get some easy caroms. But that isn't going to help. He's now going to have to go 5 to the 1. Doesn't like that. He's going to go 3 to the 1. And it hasn't got there. Now, Larry on 97. Should be on 98 after this one. He's got, again, an easy starter. Every time Larry's coming to the table right now, he's got an easy starter, and that's going to gather nicely, is it? Well, he's going to have to put a lot of spin on this just to spin into the knuckle of that pocket and get to the 3. But look at where the cue ball is. Yep, that'll do. So Larry now just 2 points away, and this match has been on for just an hour, about an hour and 5 minutes. And the carom either onto the 5 or down to the 1. And now looking to avoid the double kiss off this 1 ball to scratch for the match. I think he's got to just avoid this 1 ball getting in the way. This is always the hazard with this shot. And he's managed to get there. And in the end, it's been a comfortable win for Larry. Romario started off the first rack pretty good. Couple of good runs. But he came right off the rails there in rack number 2. Just could not get a score together. And Larry wins comfortably by 2 racks to 0. Wins the final rack there by 101 points to 90. So a final look at the bracket, and we will see when it updates, which should be any second now, that Larry now, if I can get this damn thing to work, Larry now is there going to be playing Acero. Now, Larry, of course, is in the States, and Acero is in Japan, so that's going to be a fair big time zone difference between the two. That still hasn't updated yet. There we go now. That's it updated. Well, thanks for watching, guys, whoever was there. I see Rotor Monkey was there, and Tin. And we wait and see as and when Interchange X and Baker Maker arrange their match. Now, obviously, I think those 2 guys are in the States, so they may well arrange it for a time to suit them in their time zone, obviously, which won't be maybe that suitable for me, depending on days off and stuff. But that is really the next big match to look forward to, and obviously, of course, the match between Larry and Acero. So until then, thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.